capital city and a mecca for a nation of football fans. Wembley's used to making headlines on the sports pages. But in the spring of 2006, it was to dominate the front pages. Shortly before midnight on May the 11th, police received reports of a stabbing in a quiet residential street. For the Met's Homicide and Serious Crime Command, this scene in Sudbury Avenue would mark the start of a sensational investigation. For the victim was one of their own, Special Constable Nisha Patel Nasri.
It was absolutely chaotic. Obviously police everywhere, cordon tapes, blood on the pavement, blood outside the house.
Initially we were told there was a stab wound and she'd lost a large amount of blood.
The 29-year-old Special had moved to the house only recently. Her husband Faddy had been out playing snooker with a friend that night and he had learned of the stabbing through a call to his mobile.
Faddy Nasri was extremely upset about what happened to his wife. There was blood on the pavement outside the house, which he could have seen from where he was. There was a huge shock to him.
One street away, Nisha's brother Caton was woken from his bed.
I started running towards my sister's house. I could see like trails of blood running up to the house. I've never seen that much blood in my lifetime before. And I knew there's no way that she's going to make this.
With Nisha's life hanging by a thread, paramedics rushed her to Northwick Park Hospital in Middlesex. Caton and Faddy followed, waiting anxiously for news.
Within 5 minutes, the doctor came in and said she has lost a lot of blood. We're trying our best. So they went back out of the room. And within a minute they came back in. They shook their head.
"30 minutes after being admitted to hospital, Nisha Patel Nasri was pronounced dead, killed by a single knife wound to the groin.
It was my little sister who I was supposed to protect and look after, and I felt that I had failed. I put my hand on Fanny's shoulder and I said to him, "Don't worry, I'll look after you now."
The police were now dealing with the murder of a fellow officer. By the next day, her death was leading the national news.
Fighting for her community, the Special Constable murdered on her doorstep. Nisha Patel Nasri's passion was tackling crime in her neighbourhood. It ended in tragedy, just yards from the safety of her home.
As the media descended on Sudbury Avenue, DCI Nick Scola and his team began analysing the crime scene.
When we looked inside the house, everything seemed to be orderly. There was no sign of any forced entry, and nothing seemed to be stolen either.
The blood started in the parking area outside the front door, so it looked like she'd been stabbed there. In the kitchen there were 2 knife blocks. One of them was a John Lewis knife box, and missing from that was a rather large kitchen knife. So automatically we started looking at that potentially as a murder weapon or something that the suspect may have taken away from them.
While the forensics team searched for clues, other officers began collecting witness statements. The most significant came from a neighbour who had seen a man fleeing immediately after the stabbing.
The witness described them as a thick-set man, possibly Afro-Caribbean, with a hood up. They ran away from the scene without looking back.
2 other witnesses described seeing a similar figure before the attack.
They saw a man walk past lost them. Twice he had clearly been walking around the block before he turned towards Nisha's house and they heard her screaming a little while afterwards.
These were useful leads about to become even more promising, because police soon learned there'd been an attempted break-in at the house 5 days earlier. According to Nisha's brother Caton, 2 men tried to trick her into opening up and then used a crowbar in an attempt to force the lock before leaving. One of those men sounded strikingly familiar.
One of the males was described as a large built black male with a hood. So they matched the description of the man who'd been seen running away from the scene on the 11th.
The attempted break-in the Saturday before is too big a coincidence not to be linked.
Following this unsettling incident, Caton begged Nisha to leave her house and return to live with him.
But the way Nisha is, she wanted to stay where she was. She's like, this is my house, I'll protect my house. She was a bit too brave for her own good.
On the night of the murder, the intruder appeared to have known that the door frame was too strong to break down. So he'd used a simpler method of entry.
One of the things that we were told in the early stage by Fanny next week was there was a keys. It was possibly the key that had been used to get into the address.
Fanny?
Reason.